and welcome to Season 3, Episode 47 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches in ECW history with match number 4 on our list, which is the 2 out of 3 falls match between Rey Mysterio Jr. and Psicosis from the October 17th, 1995 edition of Hardcore TV. So these two came on the scene, stole the show at Gangster's Paradise the month before in a match that was earlier on our countdown. An absolute trailblazing, influential match that this one was. So here we get the ante upped a little bit. So we go 2 out of 3 falls, very traditional lucha libre, to the point that Joel Gertner, who to his credit does an amazing job at this, does the introductions for both men in Spanish, just to give it, that lucha libre, flair and feel to it. And that's what we get in this match, but it also gets upped a little bit in the violence department, giving it more of an ECW twist, and they completely blow away, what they did in their first initial encounter. This is an absolutely superb match that they, in my opinion, would somehow go on to top at the Bash of the Beach in 1996 in Daytona Beach, Florida for WCW, which, considering how good this match is, just shows the absolute ability of both of these men. And Rey Mysterio Jr., I've mentioned this before, I think he is the greatest professional wrestler of all time, bar none. Psicosis, though, is someone that really doesn't get his name held in as high regard as he should, because I also truly feel that without Psicosis, there maybe wouldn't be a Rey Mysterio Jr., at least on the level that we know of him. Because, it really was that match at Gangster's Paradise, and it really was those two being paired together, that led to that ECW shot and that Lucha Libre explosion that would come into the Cruiserweight division and, propel Rey to superstardom. This match, the pace that they, deliver right off the hop is incredible. So right from the bell, the opening spot is Psicosis gets slid on his belly out to the floor, which is a spot that you see Rey do a lot now. So Psicosis takes that spot. Rey, pretends that he's going to come over the ropes with the somersault, but, lands on his feet on the apron like the Mitsuharu Misawa, kind of Tiger Mask spot. So he does that, and he hits a crossbody on Psicosis off the apron, and Psicosis, just an all-time champion at taking dives, bumps backward over the guardrail while he takes the crossbody. Rey goes back into the ring, then hits a crossbody over the top, back to Psicosis over the rail again, and then when we get back in the ring, he snaps off a Hurricane Rana for a really quick first fall. Just an insane pace, a very quick first fall, which isn't outside of the norm in Lucha Libre. Like I said, this is kind of a traditional feeling at its core lucha match in ECW. So that's our first fall. Second fall, Psicosis knows he has to do something to up the aggression, and he does the classic Psicosis. He goes for that running, 3/4 Thez press into the corner. He misses it. Rey pops off like a deja vu into a spin kick, though. He doesn't hit the head scissors or an arm drag coming out of it. Hits a diving Rana off the top, sends Psicosis to the floor, hits a diving Rana off the ring apron. So again, just like the first fall, the second fall is bang, bang, bang with all of these crazy Rey Mysterio moves. What does Psicosis do? He gets taken off his game at the start of the first fall, tries to be more aggressive, gets taken off his game at the start of the second fall, and he goes to the classic Rudo, right? So Lucha Libre, we have our Technicos and our Rudos. Psicosis is the Rudo, he's the heel, he's the bad guy. So he comes in, and just the oldest trick in the book, he extends his hand to Rey Mysterio, and when Rey goes to grab the hand, he takes over. Psicosis is so good here, he antagonizes the crowd. The crowd had just been chanting Mysterio, so they kind of mock, he mocks them a little bit with that, and he just brutalizes Rey. He hits a power bomb, he uses a sharpshooter, he takes him out to the floor and slams him on a table that doesn't break, and he hits him in the leg with a chair shot. And he dominates Rey for a couple of minutes. They go back into the ring, and again, almost the exact same mistake that Psicosis had made at the first 2 falls, where he whips Rey into the ropes, and that allows Rey to hit a counter, and he hits the cartwheel into the turnaround Hurricane Rana, and goes quickly for a Cabrada, a lion salt. And Psicosis, though, thankfully, for his sake, has this one scouted, doesn't fall victim to, these crazy Rey Mysterio offensive maneuvers again. He catches the quebrada and he hits a tombstone pile driver, and it's enough to finish the second fall. Also, once again, in relatively short order. So our third fall, I talked about in the Gangster's Paradise video, how that match was really, to emphasize Rey Mysterio and to really put Rey Mysterio over. And while this match, does that in spades as well, especially with that opening first fall and the start of the second, this match is more about Psicosis. Psicosis, gets a lot of big spots in the third fall that shows, he's not just the guy that comes along with Rey and bases for Rey to make his offense look spectacular, even though he is and he does, but that he's game himself. So at the start of the third fall, Rey bails out to the floor, still kind of groggy off the tombstone. Psicosis hits him with a baseball slide, power bombs him through a table, basically gives him like a gorilla press and throws him over the rail into the crowd, and then proceeds to hit, I always call it an Undertaker dive, like that straight body over the top rope dive where you kind of come down head first. Psicosis hits that. He hits it all the way into the crowd on Rey. It is absolutely incredible. The crowd here is so hot, so receptive to everything that they're seeing because of how groundbreaking it is. Psicosis, he almost falters a little bit. Again, classic Psicosis playbook where he goes into the corner, misses, posts himself off the ring post, bails out to the floor, and it allows Rey to get one last kind of fantastic spot where he hits a springboard, somersault, three-quarter Fez press. So think like the Molly go round. He does like a springboard Molly go round out to the floor. It was incredible. Rey gets a couple of chair shots and things like that. He puts a chair over Psicosis's neck and kind of like horse collars him with it and slams him into the ring post a couple times. He gets deja vu head scissors this time in the ring, a somersault triangle dive to the floor. So again, we get all of these Rey spots. But again, Psicosis is just too much, and he ends up, turning everything around and out on the floor. It's just incredible move. He hits a back senton off the top rope through a table on the floor. He gets so much elevation off of it. It is phenomenal. It just absolutely crushes little Rey through the table, brings him back into the ring, lies a chair over him, hits the tumbleweed off the top, and it's enough for 3. So again, you get, the Psicosis spotlight as much as you get the Rey spotlight, which is great. You get that traditional Lucha Libre feel, but you get the chairs and tables play in here, that also makes it feel like an ECW arena, an ECW match. You have a hot ECW arena crowd in, one of the best periods, one of the best runs ECW would ever have. You have a great story here with Psicosis falling victim to Rey, having to do, resort to those Rudo tactics that we didn't see a lot of in the first match to take over. Almost, falling victim to Rey a couple more times throughout the match, but keeping his composure, keeping his head together, and being able to put Rey Mysterio away. And this would lead to their Mexican Death Match, which was essentially like Texas Death Match rules at the 1995 November to Remember, an all-time classic show. Although that match, didn't make our top 50, I put it behind the other 2 matches that they would have in ECW. It is still tons of fun. That one is a real Psicosis showcase where he just absolutely dominates 3/4 of that match before Rey makes the big comeback and puts him away at the end. But if you've never seen that, well worth checking out as well. And, the big move at the finish is like a classic, ECW music video, highlight reel spot. So if you've never seen it, November to Remember 1995, check it out. This match, though, so good. You can catch it on the WWE Network. It's actually available for free on YouTube as well. The WWE posted it, so I'll make sure to post that link on my Twitter page. You can maybe check it out on Peacock as well, though, if you have that service. I don't know. You can follow me, of course, on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50. You can subscribe to the channel here on YouTube so you don't miss a video. And please join me again tomorrow as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50. Top 50.